Welcome all once again to this exciting show. From wherever you are watching us, we are streaming live from the Co-operative Retreat and Conference Center, located in the midst of Karen, leafy suburbs of Karen, in the middle of Co-operative University of Kenya, Ushirika Road. If you're planning any business meeting, seminars, wedding vacation, this is the place to be. You can't wait to get the experience here. We have various offers, amazing offers ranging from buffets, different foodstuffs, accommodation. I tell you, you cannot wait to have this experience. And on our bench today, we're having 3 guests. These are the presidential candidates of the Corporate University of Kenya 2021-2022. And we've been receiving calls from parents, comrades, administration, staff members, concerned parties, asking us, the youth space, to bring this gentleman and a lady on the bench. And today, they are here with us. We're going to see what they have for the comrades, what they have for the institution, and what they have for their personal gains. On my right side, to start with, because of gender sensitivity, we have Madam Zam Bonaya, the Iron Lady on the bench. She is the only woman on this race. And we're going to see what she has for the comrades as a woman lady. Next to him, immediately, we have the young man who has been spending so much, hence having the name Bigspenda. For Rajuanga Mutani, we're going to hear what you have for the comrades. On my left side, we have the only general surviving in the institution, Generali Otundo Collins Brandon. We're going to see whether the comrades will take order from the general, or they will continue spending as Bigspenda says, or they are going to journey through the beautiful thoughts and ideas of Madam Zam Bonaya. Join us on this show, but again, remember to subscribe, like, share. But before we proceed, click the bell so that you can get updates on all the uploads we do. Karibuni sana. Mko salama? Mko salama? Tutaanza na kusanitize kwanza. Jua corona kidogo. Sorry. Let's sanitize. After we proceed, we have our audience here. They will share their views and thoughts as we proceed. So, Mr. Brandon Otundo, Collins Brandon, if I'm not wrong?
Yeah.
You are the one.
That's me.
In 30 seconds, tell us who are you?
My name is General Collins Brandon Otundo. I'm a student of the University of Kenya, and I am a presidential aspirant in the 2021-2022 elections in this year.
Okay, thank you. Madam, you are the only lady in this race.
Yes.
Tell us, who are you?
Well, I'm Madam Zam, a student at Comrades University, a great institution here. I'm a presidential aspirant. I take computer science. I'm also the female captain in badminton, so I'm quite fast in sports area.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
The Bigspenda, as they say. Who are you?
Kwa majina kamili naitwa Faraj Wanga Mtani aka Bigspenda. Niko katika mwaka wa kwanza nafanya bachelor's in business information technology, and obviously naambia kitu cha rais kwa sababu ambazo mbili tatu tunaona tunataka kupeleka chuo chetu kipiga hatua. Pia kimejaribu kupiga hatua, lakini bado kupiga hatua zaidi. Asante.
Thank you. Our viewers, you heard from them. From my left side, I've just confirmed that this is the general we have been hearing about, Generally Collins Brandon Otundo. He's on the bench. And from my right side, we've just heard the Iron Lady speaking to you, Madam Zam Bonaya. She's with us here in the house. Just next to her, we have the Bigspenda. Stay with us as we get to know what they have for the comrades today. Just to begin, I'm so curious to understand what's your take on the online nominations. We've had a lot of issues. Comrades, some aspirants being disqualified on the threshold issue, some having issues with portals. To begin with you, Madam, what's your general take on the online nomination?
My general take on the online elections is I'm actually against the online nominations because come to think of it, when we compare the online nominations and the physical nominations that we had on our previous years, this one has been a bit tough. because you come to realize as a student, once you have nominated, you're not able to nominate the other leaders. Well, it kind of makes sense, however, it gets a bit difficult on us. And then on the negative aspect of the online nomination is it is subject to hacking.
Okay.
You come to realize you're going door to door, you're reaching out to students to be able to nominate you. And these students are not able to do so because someone else decided to nominate themselves.
Generally, you heard her say that the online nomination is subject to hacking. And there's some situation where you find once a comrade has done the nomination, he or she cannot nominate another candidate, right? What's your general take about the case?
About the case of hacking.
Hacking and the online nomination in general.
Online nomination generally, I don't support it first of all, because as we as a presidential aspirants and aspirants all around, we were not sensitized, and even we were not putting the know-how on how the nominations will be conducted. So you find other students in different parts of the country because of the pandemic, they are not in school. They don't know how to nominate and how to do the nomination with candidates. So it's challenging to the presidential aspirants and the rest of that.
So from your point of view, these students ought to have been educated, given civic education,
Yeah,
to
that's
get
right.
the understanding of how the nomination should take place.
Yeah, that's right, before the nomination action.
The Bigspenda, right one. What's your take of the online nomination? Are you okay with it?
I maybe I'm the only one who will say I am okay with it. The take that the institution took was not right. One, I think everything that has been brought online, you have taken through orientation. It's only election that you're not being oriented about it, which means it came as a shocker. Like, due to the fact that in their memos they said there will be Google Forms, it was not online filling. They have said Google Forms, which means you can print a Google Form. In my mind, when you print a Google Form, then work manually as it has always been. But they just came up with their so-called emails that had some shortcomings.
You say you are out of the three, you are comfortable with the process.
I'll never be comfortable at any point.
But you say you support the process.
I can quote. I said I can't be the only one who will be comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we had the online nominations,
Yeah.
and we've had issues of with some candidates complaining that they were not able to see the results from their end. That's the case, eh? Bigspenda, but still on you. Were you able to see your results? Do you know the actual nominations you received?
I may beg to educate your collective, not some, all, because I don't know, and maybe you can just show me who knows or his or her results, because I don't know one has.
Madam, do you know the actual, countings you got?
No, I don't know. That's actually one of the shortcomings of the online nominations. You are not able to get to follow up, knowing have you really reached the threshold, how many students are nominating you. So
Okay.
on our end, we were on the dark.
You are on the dark.
The aspirants.
Tindrani, do you have the information concerning what you scored as far as nominations are concerned?
I only believe the deep states of the school are the only ones who have the nomination results, and according to the number of people it is called. According to me, I have no information, but I see people celebrating that they have the highest nominations. I don't know how and where they got the information.
If all of us here did not, doesn't have the information as far as the nomination are concerned, Madam, tell me, are you comfortable if we proceed and do online elections?
Well, I don't really vouch for the online elections because if these, the nominations were this tough. The nominations had their own disadvantages. You're not able to follow up on who are able to elect you. You're not able to. It's subject to hacking. What about the online election? It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
On my end, I don't support online elections.
So you
I'm
don't support
fully against
online elections?
Yes.
Generally, your thoughts?
I don't support online elections simply because during the coming semester and during the election year period, all the students will be around school. I don't know the reasons as why we will be subjected to an online election whereas the students will be on the ground. And secondly, The online elections, since the online elections had a lot of shortcomings, we don't know why we should put ourselves through online elections with more and more shortcomings and more petitions.
Right.
I believe online election needs one rejection, a capital NO and a total rejection.
So all of you are agreeing that you are not in support of online election?
Yeah.
What if the commission proceeds and carries out the online election, Madam?
Well,
How will you address that?
Well, we are the aspirants. I believe we have the power, we have the capacity to deny, to be against.
To demand the changes?
To demand for change. Yeah.
If the election commission proceeds with the online election and you become the winner,
as far as
will you defend the commission or will you speak the same language as their son?
As far as the nature is concerned, we have to be realistic. No one has ever hated victory. I will rejoice. I will not even wait to be sworn in.
Generally, online elections, if the commission proceeds and carries out an online election,
the commissioners and the electoral commission must convince us that the elections will be conducted in a free and fair manner before accepting to be participants in the same election. So before that, they have to sensitize and educate us on the same, and also do voter education to the Comrades who are going to elect the next students government council.
I think we've had by-elections going on across the country,
Yeah,
and they are being done physically. Why do you think the electoral commission is insisting on the online elections?
Well,
I believe we can maintain social distance and carry out physical elections.
we are not educated.
Why do you think the electoral commission is insisting on the online process?
One, I think the electoral commission and the members and the chair, the member, are in a better position to answer that question because that's the idea. On my side, I can't give a reason as to why they want.
Madam?
Well, I'll just echo on whatever he said. It's for them to know.
For the commission to decide.
For the commission to decide because they're actually the overall.
They are in charge.
They're the ones
They are
in
in
charge.
charge.
We stand to be guided, we stand to be against them, and we stand with them.
Generally, we have such ideas from various campuses which have conducted online elections. But the other campuses have good system, database. If our database can fall, even during the exam, what about the elections? We should ask ourselves questions before facing that online election.
So you are saying, you are both saying that the electoral commission is in charge to communicate or to convince you that the election will be credible, transparent, and accounting, right? As far as the online process is concerned. Having talked about the elections, which is part of the major issue that we are addressing today, when I was in the university and trying to do my checks around, some people are saying that people are regrouping as far as tribe is concerned, and some are also fighting each other as far as tribe is concerned. Is it true that current politics has led to tribalism?
We can't run away from our tribes because one, we are born there, but that doesn't mean that we should align ourselves with the tribes. And online or campus elections just make a picture of a smaller picture of the wide politics.
National politics, eh?
Yeah, and I believe like currently, I won't say, let me say I'm a Luo. Like you see, Luo believe that Baba must be the president. They even don't need to listen to Baba ideologies. But because my great-grand or my grandparent tells me that in a Luo, and believe me, when Baba is from Nairobi, he will pass by here.
So you're saying that currently tribalism is being embraced as far as these election process is concerned?
To the bigger extent.
Madam, is what he's saying true?
Well, I agree with that. It has reached a point in our campus politics we get to embrace tribalism. However, I don't agree with that because as a campus, you didn't come to cooperative because you're a Luo or a Kikuyu or a Luya per se. You just came because you're a Kenyan citizen first. Now you qualify to get to campus. So to look at the larger picture, we as cooperative should look at what is it that unites us rather than what is it that...
The unity, yeah?
Yes, the unity. I'm all for cohesion.
Mr. General, is it true that tribalism is being embraced?
Yeah, it's true tribalism is being embraced, particularly campus politics, and I'm entirely against that. From the general team, my political team, as you can see, it represents the general flag of the Kenyan flag. From the president to the last person with the gender and special needs persons are from different political tribes.
So we are agreeing that as far as current politics stress is concerned, tribalism is being embraced. As the presidential candidate, what are the measures you are putting in place to address tribalism?
One, tribalism, I think the main point, the main cause of tribalism is that everyone believes he needs it. For instance, I gave you last time the president, you need to give back. We can't sit and down and come to a flat rate. It's just a must for me to give back. So there comes a point where you have to get a point of equilibrium. Let me try and fix you to a position that you are at least not just satisfied, but
so do we believe that we can kill the tribalism aspect that we are facing right now?
If Tanzania, there's no tribalism in Tanzania, why not Kenya? Why not Kenya?
Where should we start?
This is a point whereby let's go and see to the national leaders. Those are the main people causing this political and tribalism that's being practiced all down. These are the people.
Hold on, Mr. the General. It is quite clear that most of the national leaders, the members of parliament that we are having today, majority of them were former student leaders. And the Bigspenda is saying that we need to sit with them to try and come out with a solution of tribalism. Do you think we need to start from above or we need to start from here?
I say, even a newborn baby starts from baby class all the way up to college. That's where he gets the knowledge. One thing. I would say tribalism only happens when it comes to political matters. When I want a lady to be my wife, tribalism doesn't play part of it. So if us leaders control our persons to give them the correct direction, it's not all about the tribe that you come from, but the ideas and ideologies and qualities that you have as a person who wants to lead.
Madam,
Yes.
you being the only lady in this race, and as you know, where a woman is, there should be solutions. What's your plans as a presidential candidate to settle tribalism?
My plan as a presidential aspirant settling the tribalism issue is to never at all be part of the tribal aspect. Because if you get to check the tribal people viewpoints from their tribal lenses, you get. So I vouch for his idea also on beginning from bottom to top, the bottom to top approach. So instead of getting to, it actually starts with us. So sitting down with the national leaders on how to settle the matter that the cooperative university doesn't turn up. So it is for us.
So you're saying you both agree that we need to begin from here?
Yes.
Fraj, are you in agreement with them?
I disagree to disagree.
Okay. Simon?
Today, when, for instance, Uhuru Kenyatta takes William Ruto to Mount Kenya and says, "This is my brother," every citizen or every member of the gamer community will feel he's a brother. But today, when a normal mwananchi tells you, "This is my brother," and he's a Kalenjin, you'll never agree.
So you're saying we need to start from up.
It's until our president acknowledges all the so-called 47 communities.
You as an individual, can you solve tribalism? You as an individual.
Tribalism is solved by one, it's a personal initiative. I can't personally. We are currently almost 40 million. How will I reach the 40 million Kenyans?
Fraj Wanga Mutanyi, you are on record saying that liberators not exist and people liberate themselves. And I'm asking, as an individual, can you solve tribalism?
I can.
You can liberate yourself from tribalism?
Yeah.
Why not liberate Madam?
That's why I said I am not a liberator. People liberate themselves. It's until I start the liberation movement for the Madam or the so-called Zam Zam Bonaya Boru to feel it's of benefit to the nation and the whole country.
General?
I believe he has spoken like a tribal person, first of all. I want to tell you, if we want to end tribalism, it's about me and the people in it. I can call maybe a Luo, I'm a Kisi, I can call my brother, without ties of tribalism being there. Even though our political fathers are tribal, we don't have to follow their directions. Right now, there are several laws. When you go back to Ruto when he was in Kisumu the other day, there are very many Luos who embraced his move to go to...
So you are saying you can address tribalism in a different way that the Bigspenda is trying to...
Yes.
How?
Tribalism basically starts...
As a presidential candidate?
Yes, as a presidential candidate.
What are the measures you are having?
The measures I'm having, in this particular school, we have different ethnic groups which have different chairmen, secretaries, and board members. We start by bringing all these people together, knowing that we work as one. And also we must end the kind of political pressures which are given by tribal basis, that this one is going to vie for presidency from this community, and this one is not going to vie for presidency. Let us give democratic rights to each and every person wanting to be a presidential aspirant. In my community, I'm the current chairman of the Kisi community. But in that particular community, we have Bonaya, who's the vice president to Amos Rex, which means my community is not tribal, and it gives room to any political aspirant who wants to vie, go for whatever.
Madam, he has said that there is a lot of ethnic grouping and there are different chairs. If you are to fight for tribalism, do you think we need such groupings with chairs?
Well, they are crucial. We can't dispute that fact because unapata there's these Peshmat who comes. This person from the tribal aspect is grown with the leaders watakuja kumsaidia. He'll get more comfortable reaching out to these leaders other than another person. So they are quite crucial in marshalling support in the political aspect. However, it becomes different when the chairs themselves abuse the power they have. You get to realize that a certain community decides, we as the community, let's say community X, we as community X, we want the president and we only want the president.
Okay.
Not because he's capable, not because he has the Comrades' interest at heart, but just because he's from
that community.
X. So that becomes a bit tough.
Okay. So having talked about that, Bigspenda, you are a presidential candidate. You are a candidate. What are the measures you are putting, or in your manifesto, how are you going to address corporate affairs as far as empowerment is concerned? Those people looking up to you, your followers, how are you going to address that?
I beg your pardon?
How prepared are you to address corporate affairs as far as empowerment of students is concerned?
First, corporate affairs is key for any presidential candidate because that's the main reason you're going for the seat. I don't know the empowerment, the line of empowerment that you want me to tell you, because the main reason everyone is in CUK is education. So first, before I took initiative to go and vie, I wanted to make sure that in terms of education they are well accommodated. Currently, there have been issues with database system, the CUK Masomo, the CUK portal. No one can do education. Those are the things that should be key. Yeah, the politics is any other business. Even if right now we go and tell the VC that there are issues with my political life or alignment during this 2021 political, we'll tell you, my dear friend, come and tell me that you have academic issues. Those are the things that you can deal with.
The General, there are some corporates who survive on small business around it, and there are issues arising that to some extent they are not allowed to run their businesses. How prepared are you to address those issues if elected the president?
I myself am a business person. Actually had business inside the institution. I've also been fought before, so I understand, and I mean the know-how when it comes to business matters. This is basically a business institution. whereas the business institution should embrace business and not fight the businessmen and business ladies in the particular institution. The point is sharing ideas with the administration and reminding them we are in the current situation where we survive by ourselves. There are some students who sell even popcorns to pay their own school fees, to survive and to eat. So it is part of my manifesto and my dealings to deal with that.
So how are you going to address, how are you going to convince the administration that these comrades needs to do business within the school compounds?
Basically it's a matter of how we dialogue with them, and sharing ideas and giving them the goodness and the side effects of the same. Because currently as we speak, there are businesses going on in the school and they are not affecting any co-curricular activity and even educational activities like the STC is around, the BS is around, the foods which are being sold by outsiders, not unless which are supposed to be given to the students who study in the cooperative university of Kenya. Yeah.
Madam,
Yes.
empowerment. What do you have in store?
What I have in store on the empowerment, as far as it's the same question you've asked him, the business, the control of business. I was actually thinking of an idea whereby the students are allowed to be able to work on their hustles. So first thing that I have in store for them is to be able to sensitize them on the importance of getting your own cash, however little it might be, but unajua si ni Comrades, you get. So an extra 50 unapata, an extra 100 inakusaidia than having none. Aside from that is, we can actually liaise with the admin, as what he has said, on dialogue. Even if it means the tutasema like the Comrades, this person anaweza lipa like, let's say some little cash apate, we can fail even a certificate so that akiweza patikana hapo hivyo na the janitors per se, anyone hata tolewa from whatever he's doing. So I was really sad about the case in the one of the students whose hustle is kupiga picha. He was denied to do that. Now that shouldn't happen because that's what gives him an extra coin. How will he survive without that? Yes. So
both, the three of you are agreeing that you will address issues of commerce affairs and empowerment.
I just have something to add on.
Okay.
One, it has come to a point when there is we have differences with the administration because of business. This should never be the case. Why can't we just be given a certain area, even if it's to move canteen from that point to this point, where the STC is, and let it be a student business restricted area. Let us do what we can. Let us not then interfere with even the administration part. Let us be given a good area, good environment for business. I was very sad because the so-called PS business was being removed by the administration, but currently it's being handled by the cartels. Why can't we be given what is ours? We're just asking what's for the comrades, nothing more.
So the comrades of Corporate University of Kenya, these are your presidential candidates, and they are all agreeing that in the event that any of them is elected in, you will have the rights to run your business. As far as it's a legal business, it's allowed by the administration. Start thinking in the line of business, because very soon, Madam is going to give you the opportunity. Very soon, the Bigspenda is going to allow you to spend more. Very soon, the general will give orders and you'll be allowed to run your business. Start thinking in the line of business. Guys, thank you so much. On a different note, as the hopeful president, if you're elected, or before you're elected, what can you say? What changes are you going to make that the current regime is not doing?
My first agenda and the topmost agenda I have is basically marketing of the institution. In the recent years, the Cooperative University of Kenya had 3 satellite campuses, but now we are having 1 satellite campus. I want to tell the students of the Cooperative University of Kenya, it's better we suffer now, but never suffer later after we finish. Part of my explanation is that if right now a student from the Cooperative University of Kenya goes to an interview with a student from the University of Nairobi. If parent is not aware of the Cooperative University of Kenya, we will basically choose the student from the University of Nairobi to take up the job and the task because the school is well marketed. And part of marketing I talk about in high school, when we were back in high school, we used to see students from various campuses coming to our institution, marketing their various institutions, the courses offered, even giving hopes to the students who score D's and C's that they can still continue with their studies.
So you're saying that you will merge on marketing the institution,
That is my
so
measure.
that the students on the upon graduation their certificates can hold water.
Yes.
Madam, you've been around. You've seen how the government, the outgoing government, has been working. What changes are you going to implement?
Well, on my side, it's the major change I'm going to make is on the empowerment of the students. Well, in all aspects, because when I'm the president, their affairs concern me in terms of the sports sector. We can attest that our school, sorry to say, is a killer of talents. Because you're a good badminton player, you're quite a veteran in playing basketball. Now we don't have these avenues. So what do you opt for? You opt for drugs, let's say. You opt kukwa, as they say, what to blood fucking, you know. You really don't live to your fullest potential. So on my agenda, it's empowering the students, empowering my fellows in terms of the sports sector, academic sector. And aside from that, we are not a university if we don't fend for each other's needs. When that comes to the issue of issuing out bursaries, we have humble students. We can't work out of ignorance, knowing giving 50 bursaries is enough. That's not enough. In cooperative, we are quite a number. So fending for them, that is how I'm going to empower them.
Okay.
In addition to that, just one second, how I'll be able to empower them is I want to introduce a student circle, or rather a student's kitty. So in my capacity, from my own pocket, and from the money the Student Governing Council is able to generate, this kitty will be able to fend for the humble students in our school.
Before I come to you, the spender, she has talked about the student kitty. What's your thought?
It's a good idea. But sometimes we have ideas, but implementation is what follows.
Hold it there. Faraj Wanga, you've been around. You've monitored the government as the presidential candidate, hopeful president, July 2021. What the changes are you going to make?
One, I started appreciating what the government has done. I know maybe many of you won't agree, or those who may buy the idea, they have done what they could. I'm sure everyone can see what they've done, and what they haven't done is what now I want to do. My biggest agenda, I want to try and work on the students' financial status. Let's find a way where any student or every student can at least earn something, even on a daily basis. The smallest amount, let's appreciate. I want to come up with something that we can create that can be a source of income. Currently, we're having differences with the Naboka. Let's sit, I have a patch, I was sitting with the Naboka's committee. Let's see if we can get one student who can be representative. That is a way we can create a job. Secondly, let's like the Comrades tukuje pamoja tutengeneze let's be so called an agent wa nyumba. Unasikianga agent ameishi hapa nani comrade ameishi hapa leo, kesho hajapewa deposit. Wacha tukuje na agents yetu yenye like uko sure ukishi kwa hii nyumba mimi nitadai utundo. Yeye ndio agent wangu, nitapewa deposit yangu. Wacha tujaribu tukae kwa umoja, tupate maisha ya comrade. I feel like cooperative university doesn't have comradeship. Like,
so you want to revive the comradeship spirit,
that
we had in the year 2007, going back during the times of Babu Owino. So you want us to go back to that state where if ukisema viva, everybody says viva.
Hooliganism is a concept, and when it comes to comradeship, I'll never be comfortable if any form of injustice is being practiced to any comrade of mine.
When she was talking, she mentioned something about something to do with drugs. We all agree that we've had issues with drugs in the institution and outside the institution. and we've lost comrades to drugs.
Yeah.
Mr. General, how prepared are you to address matters dealing with drugs?
Basically, very many students or different students take drugs because of different reasons. Maybe from the family background, the problems that they have. As a president who will be sitting, I will not mishandle these people, but I'll handle them with care and bring proper counseling to the same people. That we can find the root of where he started or she started using the drugs first before making a step.
So you are proposing for a proper counseling.
Proper counseling, yeah.
Madam, drugs.
On regards to drugs, it's by the NACADA reports, 19.6% of schoolgoers are into drugs. Each one of them is addicted to either of the drugs, name it, bang, whatever, all drugs. So it's quite a number and it's a matter of concern to us. When the society now, we have the attitude of laxity. We are quite ignorant. Now, tumefika a point in we are like, if you're doing drugs, it's okay. So, well, one of the reasons why students get to drugs is out of leisure.
Okay.
However, when it supersedes that point, the matter is one thing. So the approach I'm going to use on that is counseling first, creating an avenue, a social club, in that you don't get judged for being a drug addict or whatever. You're being embraced. So the two agendas that I'll deal with that is the mental health awareness, and the second one is offering an alternative to drugs.
Drugs.
An approach and a clear, precise way on that is by empowering the students in the sports sector.
Okay.
Because if these avenues are not there, if they're not given that motivation, they'll opt for going to the STC because that is wanapata motivations happen. They're not given an alternative.
Okay.
So I'm for alternative and I'm also for mental health awareness.
Yeah. Before I come to you, Faraj Wanga, allow me pose this to the general. Rehabilitation? Can you propose for rehabilitation if you are elected the president?
Yeah, I can propose for rehabilitation. Actually, rehabilitation is one of the best ways to deal with persons with drug effects. But I want to say also, we are going to talk about drugs which are legal, and the illegal ones are out of hand, you see. We as presidential aspirants, I cannot, when it comes to alcohol, I believe everybody is above 18 years and can take at his own leisure time. He can even sleep anywhere. That's according to him and what he has decided. But when it comes to illegal drugs and drugs affecting our lungs and everything, we have to sensitize and even educate our various students
On the same. Back to you, Faraj Wanga Mutanyi, presidential hopeful, 2021. Drugs.
First of all,
How prepared are you?
I want to correct my fellow general, Otundo. You can't say we are over 18, so you can sleep anywhere because those drugs are legal. One, we are comrade for comrade. Let's use the drug the right way. Excessive consumption of alcohol is
Harmful to your health.
Thank you. I'll talk about rehabilitation. You have talked about rehabilitation. Who will pay the rehabilitation fee? Will the parent pay school fees or rehabilitation fee? Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic to other solutions. One, I will take an initiative. What is the main reason this comrade is using
taking
bang, either alcohol? And there are other forms of drugs apart from these normal drugs, there are some students who early in the morning atamka acheze pool. That's like a drug. Kufika jioni. Hizo pia ni vitu zenye we have to take steps to address. Yeah, we have to address. Alafu, I think the best way is just finding a guiding and counseling. Because, currently the situation at the point that I won't say mention that is being approached or used is just trying to bring hate. Because let me say, like, there's one thing I know. Even if drugs are not in cooperative university, I leave, take a boda, go to Gataka, nijipin fiti, narudi mimi nikiwa hai. Mungu ananiambia anuka bangi na kwambia nitoa madiko. Lakini nishajipin, I'm good. Oh, pinning niko fiti. Zime nice. So those are the things that we have to address. Let's not use force. Yeah, let's just find a good environment, conducive environment. They are our brothers.
So you are proposing an approach, an amicable approach, a peaceful approach to address these issues of drugs, as far as bang and smoking alcohol are concerned.
So long as it's for the comrades. Let it be amicable. If it's against the comrade, I'll choose to abstain, but other means will be used.
The three of you are going for the top seat. You are 3 candidates for the top seat. The presidential race. The hottest seat in the institution. And but by now people are viewing you on a different standards, different levels, and the expectations are very high. To start with you, Faraj, should they expect financial support from you on the ground?
One, financial support. So you are advocating for bribe? Because
the question is this: should the comrades demand financial support from you?
Keep it right and see the point. Should I bribe them? That's what we're trying to say. Financial support. Currently, I'm a comrade. No, let me address my point. I'm a comrade. So, I haven't been giving them financial support. What has changed to Wanga Bigspenda Faraj for me to give financial support? I'm not a president right now. Okay. I'm an aspirant.
Okay.
So, I can't change. I can't give financial support.
Madam, you are an aspirant. Hopeful president. They are viewing you differently. They have ranked you. When you walk around, they see the president. They have expectations. Should they?
Well, expectations are things we can't do without.
You sure?
Really.
Yeah.
On regards to financial support, I believe each one of us here has spent before they were aspirants and now that they are aspirants. Because hata maybe when I joined my previous year in school, kuna that comrade who comes to you, he's in real need. So I won't wait for my time to be as the aspirant, ndo niweze kumsaidia. Well, if it's for financial support, I believe that there's enough for everyone. And the little we have, we will share.
Okay.
However much, I'm also a comrade. I'm not under any payroll, aside from the businesses that I do. So if it's, financial support.
Kidogo.
Yeah.
The general. The expectations are very high. When you walk around, people see the president. Done in your suits, looking nice. Should they?
I want to say a leader is one who shares whatever he has. That's first of all. We have various comrades with various problems and genuine ones. If you have, then you can give. And if you don't have, then you don't have. That's my general take.
Faraji Wanga, Mutani. Do you have sources? Or you are moving as a comrade?
I think one, that's my own, that's my private or on my side, I know how I've planned myself according to the politics or the campaigns. So I'll choose to abstain.
You should abstain.
But let me tell them I'm ready.
You should tell them you are ready. Into that camera. Tell them you are ready.
Mambo iko sawa na mbele iko sawa. Viva.
Mr. President, the general. Sources? Are you sponsored or you are using your investments?
I believe once you decide to go for a political post, you should know of the expectations which are on the ground and you should prepare yourself for the same. And I want to say in a general term that I am prepared and it's going to be bad.
It will be bad. Into that camera. Address your opponents or the people on the ground. Tell them something as far as preparation is concerned.
I'll only ask them one question. Je, muko tayari?
Madam, you've heard him ask, Je, muko tayari? Uko tayari?
Well, some of us have been born ready. I have never been this ready.
So you're saying uko tayari?
Vibaya sana.
General, Madam, yuko tayari? Musani, uko tayari?
Pige kesho kura basi.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's going well down. It's going down. It's going down well, and the conversation is flowing. Once again, remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. As we final up, 2022, should we expect to see you on the ballot, national politics, briefly?
I think I will answer that when the right time comes. Let me serve the comrades right now. It's time for the comrades.
It's time for the comrades.
Let me give the comrades what they need now. Let
Madam,
me prove to them. I'll prove to the national.
2022, should we expect a woman representative, a woman senator, or a woman MP from the lady we sing today?
Well, let the woman serve the comrades first.
Comrades' interest?
They are my number one concern, and they'll always be as long as I'm in this campus. However, we should be the change we want to see in the world.
Okay.
So if the nation demands for my change, oh yes,
You ready?
I'll be ready.
Super ready.
Yes.
The General, 2022, should we prepare ourselves to see you on the August House? Should we?
Basically, this is political foundation I'm setting for myself. And I don't want to promise that come 2022, I'll be running for any seat. But I'll also be running for my second term as a presidential candidate in the Cooperative University of Kenya to leave it better and even better than I found it. That's
So you're
my take.
saying come 2022, you'll be doing your last term
In the
as the
campus.
president of the great institution of Cooperative University.
Yes.
And Madam is saying if the nation demands for the change, you are ready.
Yes.
And Omutani is saying that comrades' interest first, and he has no plans for 2022, but for plans for CUK.
Don't put words in my mouth. I said, when the right time comes, everything will be blessed.
When the right time
As
comes.
much as 2020 is concerned.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's check the tweets as we final up this great show. Aha. On our tweeting section, we are seeing Tim Ogaji. You know him?
Yeah.
You know Tim Ogaji? Madam?
I do.
Ogaji is saying this is a great show. Comrades are happy. We are seeing Franklin Wamadai and saying this show is great. It is on fire. Kamelin Butichi, these candidates are waxing eloquent. Madam Zam, Bonaya, vive. If only you mean what you say. You know her?
Yes.
Kamelin Butichi. Epsi Banyakerario, I love the show. Big up to these great minds. CUK, gonna be great. Do you agree with her?
It will be.
Should we expect greatness?
Yeah. That's the
Madam,
first agenda.
should we expect greatness?
Yes. Totally.
And Florence Njeri finally says that I love the show. It has been great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, back at home. It has been a great show. This is the Youth Space. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. I was your host, Ken Bob.